In the shimmering twilight of Hollywood's most glamorous era, when stars burned brighter than diamonds and dreams were manufactured in studios like golden currency, a remarkable truth emerges from the shadows of time. While we mourn the legends who have joined the eternal constellation above, a precious few Golden Age icons walk among us, still breathing reminders of an era when cinema was magic, when stars were gods, and when Hollywood truly ruled the world. These living treasures carry within their hearts the secrets of a bygone age, and tonight, we celebrate the extraordinary survivors who refuse to fade into the darkness of forgotten history. The hands that once shook with Clark Gable still gesture expressively today. The eyes that witnessed Marilyn Monroe's vulnerability behind the glamour still sparkle with memories that could fill libraries. Although the golden age of Hollywood ended over 50 years ago, some of the actors from this time period are still alive today, and they carry with them something infinitely more precious than awards or accolades. They carry the living essence of cinema's most magical period. These remarkable individuals are not merely survivors. They are walking time capsules, breathing museums of an era when every film was an event, when studio heads wielded power like emperors, and when a single photograph could launch or destroy careers overnight. They remember the weight of studio contracts that bound them like golden chains, the intoxicating rush of premiere nights at Grauman's Chinese Theater, and the devastating heartbreak that lurked behind Hollywood's glittering facade. Each morning they wake. These living legends defy the relentless march of time that has claimed their contemporaries. They've outlasted the very studios that created them, witnessed the death of the star system that made them, and adapted to a world where their faces once plastered on every marquee from Sunset Boulevard to Times Square now draw curious glances from young people who recognize something timeless in their bearing but cannot quite place the name. The significance of their survival cannot be overstated. In an industry that devours its young and discards its aging, these performers have achieved something approaching immortality, not through the preservation of their films alone, but through the continuation of their very presence among us. They are the final witnesses to conversations we can only imagine, the last to remember the specific scent of Max Factor makeup in studio dressing rooms, the exact weight of Oscar gold in trembling hands. Their stories interconnect like golden thread through the tapestry of Hollywood history. They remember when television was the enemy that would surely destroy cinema, when color films were experimental luxuries, when method acting was a revolutionary concept that threatened the established order. They lived through the transition from the oppressive studio system to the liberation of independent filmmaking, watching their industry transform from a dream factory into a global entertainment empire. At 101 years old, Eva Marie Saint embodies the eternal elegance that defined Hollywood's golden age. Her name forever etched in cinematic history through two masterpieces that captured the very soul of American cinema. Eva Marie Saint was born on July 4, 1924, on Newark, New Jersey. She is known for starring in Elia Kazan's On the Waterfront, 1954, for which she won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, and Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest, 1959. Little did the world know that this 4th of July baby would grow up to embody the independence and spirit that her birthday symbolized. The magic began on the gritty docks of Hoboken, where a young Eva Marie Saint stepped before Elia Kazan's cameras and created movie history. Her portrayal of Edie Doyle in On the Waterfront wasn't just acting, it was alchemy, transforming raw emotion into cinematic gold. When Marlon Brando's Terry Malloy picked up her dropped glove in that legendary scene, it wasn't just a prop being retrieved. It was the moment when old Hollywood's mannered performances gave way to something raw, honest, and revolutionary. But the universe wasn't finished with Eva Marie Saint. Alfred Hitchcock, the master of suspense himself, chose her to star opposite Cary Grant in North by Northwest, creating what many consider the perfect thriller. On Mount Rushmore's treacherous slopes, Saint didn't just AXI, she became the embodiment of Hitchcock's ideal blonde, intelligent, mysterious, and unbreakably strong even in the face of mortal danger. The cruelty of time that claimed her contemporaries seemed to pass Eva Marie Saint by with unusual gentleness. While others battled demons or succumbed to the pressures of fame, Saint maintained a dignity and grace that became legendary in its own right. She chose family over fame, quality over quantity, substance over spectacle. Her marriage to director Jeffrey Hayden lasted over 6 decades, a testament to the possibility of finding genuine love in the manufactured romance capital of the world. In interviews throughout the decades, Saint spoke with the wisdom of someone who had witnessed Hollywood's golden sunset and lived to see its modern resurrection. She remembered when acting was craft first, celebrity second, when stars studied their roles like scholars and approached each scene as if their artistic integrity depended on it. Her surviving presence serves as a bridge between the Hollywood that was and the industry that is, a living reminder that talent, when properly nurtured and protected, can indeed transcend time itself. In the exclusive pantheon of Hollywood's centenarian survivors, we find perhaps the most remarkable achievement in the history of show business, People who became famous as actors, filmmakers and entertainers known for reasons other than their longevity. These are not simply old people who happen to work in entertainment. These are legendary figures whose talent burns so brightly that it continues to illuminate our world a full century after their birth. The journey to 100 in Hollywood is treacherous beyond imagination. This is an industry that has historically chewed up and spat out its stars with ruthless efficiency, where the pressures of fame, fortune, and constant scrutiny have claimed countless lives decades before their time. Yet these remarkable individuals navigated every obstacle from the studio system's iron grip to the cultural revolutions that transformed America and emerged, not just intact, but triumphant. Consider the mathematics of their survival. They were born when Hollywood was still finding its voice, when talkies were revolutionary, when the very concept of movie stardom was being invented day by day. They lived through the Great Depression, when studios shuttered and dreams died on breadlines, yet somehow their own dreams not only survived but flourished. They endured World War II, when the entertainment industry transformed into a propaganda machine, and many of their male colleagues traded soundstages for battlefields. Never to return, the centenarian survivors witnessed the birth and death of the production code, the rise and fall of the studio system, the invasion of television, the advent of method acting, the explosion of independent cinema, the digital revolution, and the streaming wars. They are living historians who remember when a movie ticket cost a quarter and when signing a 7-year studio contract meant surrendering your soul to Louis B. Mayer or Jack Warner. Each centenarian carries within their memory bank scenes that would make film historians weep, private conversations with legends, behind-the-scenes moments from classics, the real stories behind the carefully crafted publicity narratives. They remember which stars were genuinely kind and which were manufactured angels, which directors were visionaries and which were tyrants, which films they knew would be classics, and which surprised everyone by achieving immortality. Their very existence represents a victory over the mortality that is claimed virtually every other figure from their era. They are the final witnesses to Hollywood's most magical period, the last voices that can speak with authority about an age when movies could change the world and frequently did. Pop music's golden age found its voice through Connie Francis at 87, whose hits like Where the Boys Are defined a pivotal decades of American culture. In the hallowed halls of entertainment history, few names bridge the gap between Hollywood's golden age and the birth of modern popular culture quite like Connie Francis. Her story reads like a fairy tale written in equal parts triumph and heartbreak, success and survival. Born Concetta Rosa Maria Francanero in Newark, New Jersey, she emerged from humble Italian-American roots to become the biggest-selling female artist of the late 1950s and early 1960s. Little did the world know that this powerhouse vocalist would outlast many of the movie stars who once shared billing with her, becoming one of the few Golden Age entertainers to witness the complete transformation of American culture from the Eisenhower era to the digital age. Francis represented something unique in entertainment. She was simultaneously wholesome enough for parents and exciting enough for teenagers, a rare combination that made her a bridge between generations. When she recorded Where the Boys Are, she wasn't just creating a hit song, she was capturing the optimism and romance of an America standing on the brink of revolutionary change. The movie of the same name established her as both recording artist and film star, proving that true talent could transcend any single medium. But behind the velvet voice and radiant smile lay a survivor's heart that would need every ounce of its strength. Francis endured personal tragedies that would have silenced lesser spirits, a brutal